Hey guys, welcome Robert Blackman, and today I want to talk a little bit about MLM conventions. And if you haven't already, go to robertblackman.com, subscribe to my newsletter. You see all my past videos and past articles there, and some books and training, and everything that you need, the toolbox for a network marketer. But today I want to talk a little bit about MLM conventions. I'm going to my company's convention this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday down in New Orleans. So if you happen to be down in New Orleans this weekend, don't have to come to the convention. We'll be at the Hyatt down there. Come by and say hi. We'll have a cup of coffee. So I wanted to talk a little bit about. I think I was looking today. There's like my 200th convention in my 35-year career that I've gone to, and that's quite a bit. So I've been to a lot of these, and I know the right way to promote them, and I know the wrong way to promote them. And I know here's what I was taught, and here's what I know that works. It's great if you can have an event, and it doesn't have to be a company convention, because a company will usually put on at least one, if not two conventions a year. So it's important, if you don't have a company that will do one every quarter, then you can fill in those other quarters with your own event. And I'll just give you an example. Let's say that your company has an event here in January like mine does. So you got January, February, March. So sometime in April, we'll have some kind of an event. And then let's say that May, June, and July, the company has something in July somewhere. Then that's a corporate event, and then we'll fill it in. So you want to have at least 4 events a year, okay? At least 4. And if you can have at least a Saturday coffee once a month, something like that, that's great. If you do weekly meetings, that's great too, whatever. But I have just found that I have seen the growth of my business go from convention to convention. And how you want to see how your business will be built is how many people are at convention in January, and then how much are there in April or July. And so you build your business from event to event, and you do that the right way. And here's the right, well, first let's talk about the wrong way to do an event. You start out all positive that, hey, you got to get to this convention. It's the difference between you making it or not in your network marketing business. And you kind of guilt trip your group to get in there. And I don't agree with that at all. The reason why is because I know plenty of 6-figure and 7-figure earners that have never shown their face at an event at all. That's not their gig. That's not their personality. They're nervous around people, but they're great at building the business remotely from their own home, okay? Or they're great at recruiting people who want to do meetings or go to events, all right? So there's a big difference. So if you start guilting your team into it, what you're going to find is attrition by the idea that people get depressed that I don't have the money to go to New Orleans, for instance. It's not inexpensive to go. It's not like $99 and you get airfare, hotel, food, and convention tickets for 99 bucks. It's not that way at all. Now, if you're going to run your own event on a Saturday, I would suggest you charge $47, $97 bucks for a one-day, a Saturday event, and then you'll get a lot of people that'll come into a metropolitan area or even a smaller area. So it's $500 minimum to $1,000 commitment, sometimes even $2,000 to go to an event. The reality is not everyone's going to have that kind of money, and so you really want to try to find out who your team is by approaching everyone and say, look, we've got a convention coming up at the end of January. Just wanted to throw it out there to see if you or your wife or your spouse, significant other, or if you're single, if you're going to be coming. And just be quiet. And if they're not, say, hey, well, that's okay if you can't. I completely understand it. But we're going to hold some events that are going to allow you in promotions to get a free ticket, get a free hotel room. Or even a gas card from Walmart that will pay for your gas if you're going to drive there. Or you can even do airfare. And if you do a promotion, do it to where they get 2 free tickets, okay? Not just one, because nobody wants to go to an event by themselves. They want to bring their spouse or they want to bring a downline member. So the right way to promote an event is to continue to say, this will really help you build your business, and we're going to hold a promotion. So after January here, starting February 1st, I'm going to start holding promotions to my team that will give them where I buy as the upline. I purchase the ticket. I purchase a hotel room, pay for their hotel room to get them there, and then look for gas cards if you're going to drive there. So wherever it's at, then we'll figure all that out, or even an airfare. So if you hold promotions, so you've got someone that's sitting there going, you know, man, I really want to go to this January convention, Robert. December was just here. You know, we spent all of our money on travel to go see our family or Christmas or whatever. And we're just paying off our credit cards. But thanks for calling anyway. When's the next event? And so you tell them when the next event is. And you say, here's the promotion. We're starting February 1st. So in April or even July, here's how you can be in a better position. So you and your partner or you and a downline member, a key downline member, you can take them. And I will tell you, there's nothing better than starting with you and a key person, especially if that key person, you can say, hey, look, why don't you just jump in the car with me? We'll split gasoline. I've got your hotel room and I've got your convention ticket covered because I won this contest. And then that's when you start getting some momentum. So you can start it from the ground up by yourself. And what happens all too often when I consult and coach with people is that they say, I'm afraid to call my upline because every time I call them, all they do is dun me about trying to get this convention and guilt me and say, boy, you really need to do it. You can find the money. You can sell something on eBay. And all of that's true. And how bad do they want it? You have to encourage people at this position because they're very fragile. Your team is fragile. And followers turn into leaders. They may be a leader in hiding like I was. I had no belief in myself. I didn't know anything about the business. I was totally incompetent about the business, but I just had a desire to get out of the printing business. I didn't want to work for my dad at 10 bucks an hour the rest of my life. And I had somebody just pounding me all the time. You got to come, you got to come. And it just ran me out of that company because I couldn't call them and ask for help because all they did is say, look, I don't have time for you. We're only talking to people that are going to convention. And that's not right. So anyway, that's a little bit about why they work. And if you're someone that's behind the computer screen here and you don't want to come out of and work the business, I would just challenge you to do this. Try to find out when your next company's convention is. And if you're married, take your spouse, you're dating someone, take them. Make it a little mini vacation. Okay, set it up 3 months, 6 months, even a year in advance. Say, hey, if it's in Vegas, hey, let's get there a couple of days early and stay a couple of days late if we're going to take a week's vacation. And let's go to the convention for 2 days of that. And blend it in, mix it into what you're doing. Okay, ours is in New Orleans, so you know a lot of people like going down to New Orleans. So those are just some tips today to help encourage you. It is a people business. People are your asset. I mean, your products and your services are important. They're the necessary vehicle where commissions are earned. Your compensation plan's how you do it, but we're all independent people. And the way you get independent people going is you give them something that they can go earn on their own to give them a benefit. Contests are incredible. Okay, number of people that you, number of customers that you get. Do one on customers. Do one on number of reps. Do one if they reach a certain pin level, which is a certain volume requirement. Okay, if they reach the first level, the second level, just do the math. So when you get a commission off their activity, take a part of that commission and set it aside in a savings account. Call it convention savings, either for you, your spouse, your significant other, or whatever, but for your team. So leaders do that. Leaders understand the importance of conventions, and they don't run people off. They get people to do things and get up out of their chair and say, I'm not going to miss this convention. Send videos, uplifting videos from convention if they're announcing new products. As soon as that product is announced, show it on stage if your company will let you, or go outside and say, hey, we just announced XYZ product. Here's what the price point's going to be. Here's what it's going to do. You need to get on this product, and this is really going to help you and I build our business. And I know you want to be at the next convention. And as soon as we come back, we're going to have some promotions to help you get here. That's what you want to do. That's the message that you want to send to people that are back at work, sitting in their cubicle, or the soccer mom's driving their kids. She needs to get a new pair of shoes for her kids for 60 bucks. And now here you're trying to tell her that she's got to spend $200 on a ticket. And she's going to shake her head and say, I just got to get out of this business because it's too stressful. So understand the psychology of the part-time person. The majority of people in your downline are going to be part-time. And they're sitting there. They're waiting. They're like a seed. They're waiting to be watered. They're waiting to get some sun on them, and they're waiting to grow. I know I was. So don't stomp them in the ground and dry them out. water them, help them, get them to the next level, show them how, in addition to their full-time job, their kids, that $60 pair of soccer shoes that they don't got to wait till next payday to get anyway, and eating ramen noodles, how you're going to help them get an extra $500 to $1,000 to go to the convention. Because when you go to the convention, you look around and you see all these people and you go, that person's successful? I heard that person speak on stage and that they're no better than I am. Hey, maybe I could really do this business. So you become inspired. And here's the last thing I'll give you, the last little tip. When you're at a convention, make sure that you try to attend all the events that you can and at least listen to the speakers. And here's what's going to happen. You're not going to like every speaker, but here's all you need to do. You need to have one takeaway from each speaker. So if there's 10 people speaking, I want you to take some notes and find one thing positive that that person did that will inspire you or can educate you to build your business. So the next convention, you've got a team of 5, 10, 50, 100, 250, 500 people in. And that's not everybody that you personally sponsor. Maybe you sponsor 5 or 6 people and that turns into 50. So go to the conventions, get one takeaway from each speaker, and it'll be much more positive. Because I'll tell you, there's been some people that I got up and I go, I can't listen to this person anymore. And you walk out. And the other thing is that as you go to convention, you'll get sick of the positive. You'll be drowning in positive and rah-rah. And you'll just go, I can't take it anymore. And when that happens to you, that means that you're growing. That means that you're being challenged, that the convention and the speakers are personally challenging your current belief system. Okay, your current belief system. Because if you had their belief system up on stage, you'd be up there, right? So understand that when you get to the convention and you start feeling ants in your pants and you start getting angry and you go, well, I'm just sick of this. Why did I come here? This was a waste of time and money. I just got to I want to go home right now. And I've said that on a Friday night at convention. I just go, this is stupid. I'm leaving. I hate this. This is just too much. That's a good sign. That's going to probably happen to you when you're new or you're not growing and you go to a convention. So expect it. And do this. Get one takeaway from a speaker. And if you got to walk out, go get a cup of coffee or just go back to your room for 10 or 15 minutes and come back again, then do that. And so anyway, so that's just some tips for me from being over a couple hundred conventions myself. I love them. I love the atmosphere. I love the electricity. I love seeing other people's success stories. And it doesn't make me feel inferior. What it does to me is it inspires me that other people are doing what I've always dreamed about doing, which is being financially free, not just the money, but the time freedom. So when I'm there, I'm really listening to what are these people doing with the money that they got, okay? And it's not about just the money, because money's replaceable. Your time is not. The time that you're spending at your job, you're never gonna get back. You're never gonna make more money than your boss. And most people don't want their boss's jobs because they're stressed out, okay? So that's something to think about. If you can't go to this convention or the next convention for your company, make a concerted effort to do that. And if your upline or the company doesn't have any promotions, then just create your own promotion. If it's going to cost $500 to $1,000 to go there and you've got 6 months, then back into it. See how much money you got to make to get yourself to the next convention, because you need to go. You need to hear from the company. You need to see what they're doing. You need to get a feel for that. But when you're at a place that has 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, and I've been the one that had 25,000 people at a basketball stadium, it is electric. And you look around and go, I like this, and I like these people, and I'm going to go full time. And that's what inspired me to go full time early in my career, and it was a breakthrough for me. So anyway, hope you've had some tips today. Remember, go to robertblackman.com. If you need any help, let me know. I'm here. Thanks a lot, and have a great day.